Welcome to the town of Felsa, also known as the medieval town square, which retails for $230 and has 3,300 pieces. It includes 8 minifigures, tons of side builds, and of course a new goat molded figure. And that's a big deal because we haven't seen one of these since 2011, making that goat right there rise in value quite extremely. Not only can you get this gray goat, but you can also get a white goat in this collectible minifigure series polybag. And if you want to get this gray goat companion, well, it's $230 because I haven't actually seen anyone selling just the goat from the set yet, but I'm sure there will be some in the future. But besides the fact that this is a revamped classic set from 2009 that pairs perfectly with the Lion Knight's castle, being in-world, having all of the lore, there's a deeper story being played out here, so let's get into that. First off, I'd like to point out that Tiago pointed out and made a really good point. This box should have been yellow to match the Lion Knight's castle box and other classic themes that they've been remaking recently, and I tend to agree that would have made a lot of sense. Instead they went with the black background. I think it would have had a little bit more touch of nostalgia if the box had been yellow. In case you had any question about this being in the same world of the Lion Knight's castle, this tower is identical to the techniques used in the Lion Knight's castle, and it even has like the same matching roof. And if we look at the minifigures, you'll see some more resemblances. Our first figure here is a Lion Knight soldier that has the exact same torso and Lion Knight insignia as the ones from the castle set. Next up is this royal tax collector who turns out isn't also loyal. Next up is the innkeeper, who's also a new character in this particular line, and I think there may be more to those two's backstories than you think, so stay tuned to hear my thoughts on it. Next up is this criminal, and you'll notice on his torso he has a wolf insignia. That refers to the wolf pack, which was apparently a theme in 1992 with just 3 sets. I didn't know that. Breaking Up Brad knew that, and he pointed out some of these hidden details that I'm going to share with you guys in this video. So yeah, he's the castle guy, not me. I'm not even a guy. And then these other figures have side builds to go with them. So we have the cheesemaker, and people are calling this a female. I'm not really sure considering it's a small child. I don't really know if that's a male or female, but there's this really cool cheese and bread stand that looks so delicious I almost want to eat it, but you should not eat Lego. There's also this like ox cart, but there's no like cow or anything included, but I feel like that kind of goes hand in hand with the farm. And then we have the textile guy with these scissors. It seems like there should be sheep or something so that he would be getting his wool straight from the farm, but instead it comes with this really cool side build, which is a huge commissioned artwork for the kingdom. And if you look on the sticker piece, that indeed is an image from the 1981 Lego catalog, and I knew that because the designer said so, not because I was alive in 1981. And then we have the furniture maker, who has the most side builds out of everybody. And then we have this workbench with a sword and an axe cleverly stuck through the negative space on that fencing piece. There's a kingdom chair, which you'll notice these are the exact same chairs in the Lion Knight's castle, but in a different color. And you'll find the plans for that chair on this desk, along with a wood carving tool called a lathe. Next up is the shield painter. I really like this figure because I think the torso with the money belt kind of reminds me of something that I had when I was a kid. And the side builds are of course a painted shield and an unpainted shield, apparently a work in progress. There's also a sawhorse and an axe. And then we have this tree side build, and there's a couple cool details on this tree side build I want to show you. The tree itself is pretty simple, uses that same piece that I found on the Lego Harry Potter talking sorting hat. But this first sticker is of a goat, and it shows the price was slashed from 40 to 10, which is in reference to that very first Lego 10-piece gold piece. And it could also just be referencing the fact that the goat, like I said, used to be super expensive, and now you can get it in 2 different sets. And then next to that is this wanted poster, which shows a criminal with a hood. That is of course in reference to this criminal right here, which is the wolf pack, like I said before. Now on the other side is a beware sign with a sticker of the Bat Lord riding that legendary dragon Draco, which is super cool because Lego actually just made an updated Basil the Bat Lord minifigure in that CMF Series 25. Enough for the figures, on to the main build. I want to start first with the tower and the inn, which opens up really nicely to reveal all the interiors. It's very clean and very simple. You can display it either closed or open, depending on how much space you have. Starting from the bottom, you can actually put the Lego key element straight into these doors, which is super cool. It's got a nice tiled off floor, a chessboard, a stringed instrument, which is called a lute, and a rather nice keg. Just above that, you have the innkeeper's kitchen with some very gourmet goods. We have an entire turkey, an entire crab, a delicious looking loaf of Italian bread, and a pie cooling in the window, which I don't know about you, that kind of makes me hungry. Even the oven opens up and there's like trans orange pieces in there. Attention to detail. You could actually fit one of these log pieces inside the oven too. So that just makes for some fun little play details. Not that I'll be playing with this set. Above that is a bedroom, and the roof actually pops off really nicely. This is supposedly one of the guest bedrooms, and it's where the tax collector sleeps. And I'd like to draw your attention to the hidden detail in the wall, which is possibly a personal stash taken directly from the collected taxes, and we're gonna get back to that in just a minute. Also, please note that that is a piece of cheese in the top right corner, and that leads me to my theories on who the tax collector truly is. Now, to the bottom right, you'll see the shield painter's messy house, because she clearly doesn't know how to keep paint from spilling on the floor. There's an unpainted shield and like a bowl with some probably water in it, because you need to wash your paintbrushes so they don't get hard. Also, in the back of the shield painter shop, there's a sticker piece referring to the Royal King set 6008. Thank you again, Brad. To the right of that is an anvil and some tools, and so that your side build doesn't get lost, you can kind of just place it on the inside here. Moving on to the outside, if you go up these stone stairs, you're gonna of course get to the Lion Knight soldiers' quarters. I like how this door actually opens up, although it's a bit tight, and you've got all the basic amenities for a soldier, like a sword and his orders. I also like how LEGO actually put in some ladder pieces up to the next floor, because as a kid I was really detailed with ladders and stairs to make it realistic. They've done that here just up until this point, then you have to kind of make your soldier parkour up to the top of the tower. When you put the roof back on, there's actually a piece right here that fits right here, so you can only put it on the correct way, which I really appreciate because I put things on sideways all the time. There's also some really good colors on here with the red and the green, and then you've got all these cobblestones in the front entranceway, so there's some really good details on this set. I broke the fence. Onto what I like to call the farmhouse. This section opens up on two different hinge points, which I found kind of interesting because it allows you to get three completely different shops all connected together without any of the backs being left open, so that way when you display it, they are completely enclosed. You can put them into a city, not just on a shelf, hoping that no one will look at the backside. However, opening them does give you that similar interior layout. And first, looking at the textile shop, without this side build, it's pretty barren in there with just the colored spools of wool and a stove. But when you pop this thing in there, not only does it keep you from losing it, there's actual studded pieces to stick this on there, and then it fills out the room nicely. The furniture maker shop especially is barren without all the side builds, but once you pop those in there, it looks really good, although it does kind of block that back entryway. The second floor is really cool though. You can pop the roof off, and there is a crank, but this isn't just any ordinary crank. It actually clicks and holds the weight in place. That is until you turn the crank and release it so that you can then lower whatever load you're lifting. Just to the right of that is a trapdoor, and that trapdoor has a ladder leading down. Again, I like ladders and stairs. I appreciate the details, and that's a fun little play feature. This is a satisfying crank. Additionally, this entire second floor comes off because it's kind of modular, which makes it a lot easier to get your pieces inside of the furniture shop. Now on to the farmhouse, which I think is my favorite interior. You can take the roof straight off, and you'll see all kinds of cheese, starting out from the milk on the stove that's curdling, and then you've probably got goat cheese, sharp cheddar, Gouda, green derby cheese, mozzarella. I don't know, what's your favorite kind of cheese? There's even a bucket of milk for the kitten. Going out this fun side door, there's a goat pen, which has a pretty rickety fence, a water trough, and there's a squirrel. Looking at the front, you can see that there's a cheese sign, a carpentry sign, and then there's this really cool door that leads into the textile shop, and that's my favorite door of the entire set. There's also some additional farming details on the side with honey, pumpkins, and probably some root veggies. The more I look at this set though, it really throws me back to those RuneScape days, and it kind of makes me want to play again. Who am I kidding? I don't have time for that. Oh, I also love the chimneys and the smoke pieces coming out the top. On this one, you can see a fork crossed with a knife, so that's kind of like, hey, you could eat here at the Broken Axe Inn, and then there's a shield painter sign on this side. Now that we've explored all of the rooms, let me tell you about my theory on the tax collector and the innkeeper. On the box here, the textile guy and the innkeeper are the closest in proximity. And on the side, you might even think that they're a couple due to their close proximity again, but I think he's just gossiping. But then when you look at the interior details, you can clearly see the tax collector coming onto the innkeeper with the lute, trying to impress her with his magical musical skills. The true intentions of the tax collector, who's keeping aside some of the money, not just for himself, but possibly for the innkeeper. Which leads me to my final conclusion about that cheese in the top right corner of the room. Ladies and gentlemen, I think the tax collector is the cheese kid's daddy. I love how the architecture and landscaping just fits perfectly with the Lion Knight's castle, but I do think that the medieval blacksmith is a little bit larger. I feel like this is scaled better for the castle. And that is, of course, where I'm going to be displaying it, not opened up because I need to conserve shelf space, probably along with almost every other LEGO collector out there. I also love that LEGO also has these other two collectible minifigures that fit perfectly within this set, that being the Goat Herder and the Bat Lord. And I also think the Barbarian would fit in, and maybe even the Harpy, depending on how magical your castle world is. And I don't think there's there's a limit to any of the mythical creatures that you could include, from the Minotaur, the Centaur, the Cyclops, the Harpy, and whatever other ones are out there. I'm always up for upgrading sets and adding in fun additional details. And also, speaking of fun details, let me know if any of these hidden details that I pointed out in the video were new to you, and which one was your favorite. Also, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button so that more people can find this video on the second channel, and stay tuned for more reviews like this one.